Hello and welcome to another episode of the Out Cold Ox Show. My name is Michael. I am the Ox. Today's part 2 of the 24 hours of the Humboldt Broncos Bus Crash. For those of you who haven't seen part 1, what you need to know is my brother was Mark Cross, the assistant coach on the Humboldt Broncos bus. He passed away on that bus. The morning of April 7th, 2018, a bunch of family had already come the night before. That morning, we were to head to Saskatoon, just like all the other families of the members who were on the bus, and identify our loved ones. I remember the trip up to Saskatoon. From Strasbourg to Saskatoon was roughly 2 hours, 15 minutes. Tried to pack everyone into as few vehicles as possible. I hated it. I just wanted to drive myself up, but I didn't even bring it up because didn't want to get into an argument, didn't want my parents to be worried, didn't want them to have something else to worry about. Packed into my uncle's vehicle, by the window at least, kind of feeling ill, frustrated, anxious. Felt like I wanted to scream. It was a long trip, or at least it felt like it. We got to downtown Saskatoon, to the not the funeral home, I guess it would be the mortuary. And we were directed to go next door across the street into a large conference room and wait with all the other families. The waiting process, I don't even really know what to say about it. I don't remember length of time for all this. I don't remember how long we were there. Essentially, we were just waiting for all the families to show up and waiting for the lead investigator to address us. While we were waiting, I remember being outside and giving my sister a phone call, just kind of giving her an update on what's going on, and essentially trying to figure out how we were going to get her from Houston, Texas, back up to Canada. But that's her story to tell. I remember waiting with other families, sitting at a table, and remember people talking amongst themselves. I did not want to talk to anyone. Eventually, the lead investigator addressed us all. I don't remember much about what he said. What I do remember is he said they were going to take families in about 6 at a time across the street to identify their loved ones. But what really stuck with me was that he said there might be some cases where your family member might not look like last time you saw them. I understand telling us that to prep us for what we were about to see, but it just added a sense of dread. So yeah, more waiting. I'm pretty sure my family was one of the last ones to go across the street. We were taken into the mortuary, and again, more waiting in a little waiting room until a lady came to get us. I don't know what point my dad and I had a conversation. We decided that he and I we would go in first, essentially going in to make sure it wasn't too horrific for others. Because at this time, we had no idea what my brother's injuries were. We knew that we were told that he had passed, but we didn't know what he would look like. So this lady led my father and I to this little room. We went in, and immediately saw Mark's face, and yeah, it was him. It was just, it was confirmation, but at the same time, my brain couldn't process the reality of it. Essentially, I was still in nursing brain. I don't even remember my dad reacting at this point anyway. And we looked at him, and he had rashes all over his face. Jaw was sticking out a bit. He was covered in a sheet from his neck down, laying on a table. We decided it was okay for others to see him. And so we went back over to the waiting room and got everyone to come. And this was a really difficult part. There was so much happening when people came in. I remember hearing Molly. I remember thinking to myself, that is true despair. That is true pain. I remember hearing I can't even remember one of my parents just saying, "Oh, my boy, my boy." And I just stood there, emotionless, feeling bad for my family. Just how terrible this must be for them. I don't remember how long we were in there. Time just doesn't exist at this point. I remember walking out though, going outside and seeing this metal pole and just feeling like I wanted to destroy it. Just wanted to tear it out of the ground, bend it in half and punch it. It was like moments later, my cousin showed up, and seeing him just immediately got me back into my nursing brain of, oh gosh, you know, seeing his face, just seeing how he was torn up over this. I just immediately wanted to make sure he was good. And we talked about Mark, how crappy this whole situation was. I don't remember much after that. I remember the ride home, I got into a different vehicle, which was a lot bigger and roomier. So that made me feel a lot better. So once we got back to Strasbourg, I ended up driving about a half hour away to go pick up some hard alcohol and spent the rest of the evening just drinking. So yeah, that was the end of part 2 of the 24 hours of the Humboldt Broncos bus crash. My story. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. Stay tuned. My next few videos are going to be about my story the next couple of weeks after the crash, all the way up to my brother's memorial. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one.